Hey guys, Chris with Nichols Retirement Empire, coming to you with another educational blog, number 2 in the series of how to turn my classroom management around at mid-year. You may be a young teacher and the first year is tough. You're having classroom management issues. I'm going to give you a couple of hints today that are going to help you second semester turn things around. I want to talk about confidence, I want to talk about control, and I want to talk about care. Okay, confidence, control, and care. Confidence. The first thing you need to know about confidence is when you walk into a classroom, you need to show that you are confident that you can teach them and that they are going to learn. Now, if you're a new teacher, I want you to think about this. Or if you're an older teacher, if you go in or you hear a professor or whatever and they walk into class, I don't care if it's at Sunday school or if it's in a college classroom, when the teacher walks in and they're like, oh, where's I had some stuff to pass out to you guys. What do I do with that? I've lost it, or you walk in and the first thing that happens is, okay guys, I think what we're going to do, I mean, you can't go in there unprepared and unconfident, and you got to go in knowing what's going to happen. Now, a lot of that has to do with preparation and routines and procedures, which we will talk about later. But just know up front, you need to walk in that classroom, you need to be prepared, you need to know what you're doing, you need to be ready to do it, and you need to be confident that you can teach these kids. You have to go in there and have an air about you that you're the expert and that you guys are lucky you're in my classroom because you're going to learn something. This is really cool, this is really exciting. You got to come across like that to get these kids to buy in, because if they sense that you are not an expert and they sense that you don't know what you're doing, they'll tell you and they'll act accordingly. And if your kids are looking at you saying you don't know what you're doing, or your kids are looking at you saying you don't know what you're, and they'll say that to you, especially middle school and high school kids, because they can see it and they'll let you know, hey, you don't know what's going they'll tell you. So if that's being said to you, that's one of the things that you need to work on. You got the fake it till you make it kind of thing, and you're kind of putting on a show or whatever, but your confidence will grow the more prepared you are and the more successful you are. If you're not a very confident person and you're really you're just not a person that comes across as I'm going to do this and you are going, if you don't come across that way, you're not going to get that result. Some people that are just naturally confident, and that works great in the classroom, but again, you need to know what you're doing. Second thing is control. Great classroom managers are exceptional in controlling their emotions, their physical features, and I mean by physical features I mean how their face looks in class, how their what their body language is in class. They are exceptional at controlling that, because if you cannot control that, if a kid can say something and it gets you so upset that it's visible on your face, you're not in control, you're not showing confidence, kids are not going to respond to that. They're like anybody else. They want somebody that is, large and in charge telling them what to do. I'll respond to a person that is like that as an adult. This person obviously knows what they're doing. I'm doing what they say. Kids that are mean, the kids that really want to misbehave are going to take that as that's a weakness. So I'm going to be in charge. If she's not going to be in charge, I'm going to be in charge. You have to be in control of your emotions. You have to be in control of how you look, because if you are not, they'll see it. And that's a big deal. And you're saying, well, do I have to be like a robot? You don't want to be like a robot. You don't want to be no emotions whatsoever, and like you're not going to get to me, that kind of thing. When you look angry, when you look like they are irritating you, when you look like y'all are really getting on my nerve, that is in their mind. That in their mind you are not in control of yourself. So you're definitely not going to be in control of them. People that are really great classroom managers, I've seen them, things will happen in their classroom, it'll be in the middle of an observation, and I'm in there and I'm observing and things go totally, some kid does something crazy. They don't lose it. They don't get upset. That does not get them off track. That does not show in their face at all. They just keep going. They just keep going. So you need to think about what you look like in front of the kids and what your facial expressions are. I've had, as an administrator, 17 and 18-year-old kids come into my office and they're in trouble. And they will look at me and say, Miss So-and-so, she don't like me. And I didn't pay a lot of attention to that at first, but after about the 500th time a kid told me that, it started kind of hitting me that, you know what? It must really matter to them that the teacher don't like them, or they think the teachers don't like them, or they think this teacher doesn't like them, and so I'm not going to try. I'm not going to, if they don't like me, I'm going to treat them the same way, kind of a thing. So if a 17 or 18-year-old young adult, because they're really young adults, if it bothers them that the teacher does not like them, that just shows the mentality, in your classroom, that if they think you don't like them, then they're going to get you back. They're kids. To them, it's a competition, like, oh, he don't like me, so I'm going to show him, kind of a thing. You can't show that. You cannot show that. And I would video myself in my classroom just for me, just to see the looks on my face and my body language and how I'm communicating with the kids, how I'm responding to the kids. That's difficult to correct, and that's hard to fake, and that's hard to pretend. If you're a person that does not like kids, or that you just look like you hate, you're going to have a hard time in the teaching field. It may not be the field for you, just to be flat honest with you. You just need to consider that. So I would try to video myself to see what do I look like? What's the look on my face when the kids misbehave? What's the look on my face when a kid talks out of turn? How am I really treating the kids? The third thing, and these are all emotional things, the third thing is care. Now this one you cannot fake. You can try to fake it, and if you do, the kids are going to spot it a mile away. If you've taught teenagers at all, you've heard the word fake. She's fake. You're fake. Stuff like that. That's a big thing to them. And if they think their teacher is fake, if their teacher acts like, oh, I just love all you guys and all that, and they don't get that, they don't see that in your face, they don't see that in your mannerisms, they are going to eat you alive. If they think that you don't care, if they think that, they will spot that very quickly. Very quickly. And you need to be genuine in the things that you say to them. You care about them. You care about their education. You care about them as people. And if you do not, you don't need to be telling them you do. You don't need to overdo it and fake that, because you're going to be in trouble if you do. So that's the three things: confidence, control, and care. You've got to be able to show those. It's got to be genuine. You can work on your confidence. Hopefully you don't have to work on those other two things. If you do have to work on them, that may be a reason why you're having classroom behavioral issues. Hope this helps you guys out. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you give them. Nichols Retirement Empire. Thanks for watching. Educational blog, how to fix my classroom management at mid-year.